Today we have a 2002 Lexus ES300. We'll be replacing the catalytic converter. So let's go ahead and take her in the bay and lift her up. First thing we're going to do is get under the vehicle and remove the catalytic converter slash exhaust manifold from the rest of the exhaust here. As you can see, it's only attached right there by 2 bolts, or 2 nuts. It's going to be a number 14, so go ahead and remove both of those there, and then we'll lower her down and start moving everything up top and manual. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this front cover, as well as going to go ahead and remove that O2 sensor from there. So just get everything free to get the exhaust manifold off. So I've now removed this cover covering the exhaust manifold. It's held in place by, let's see, 1, 2, so it's going to be 3 10mm bolts, one up top as you can see from the top, one on the left side, one on the bottom, as well as a 10mm nut in the middle here that was connected to this right here. So now what we're going to do is going to start unbolting everything. These are all 14mm. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 directly under here, and 6 14mm nuts, as well as a bracket at the bottom, which if you follow this where it's connected right there to the engine block itself, directly right there, that's also a 14mm nut. We're going to go ahead and remove that from there. Wasn't able to get the O2 sensor off of here due to the fact that I have very little room for leverage to unscrew it. Therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect it from here. As you can see, it's connected that clip right there, as well as remove it from the little zip tie looking thing holding the cable in place on the dipstick, and bring out the whole thing and just removing it out here. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and remove that bracket at the bottom first, then come up here and remove these 6 nuts, disconnect that as well, the O2 sensor, and bring it out to replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that now. So a little recap and a little mess up, I guess you can call it, what I did. I failed to recognize that the fact that this bracket below is actually connected on 2 sides. There's another 10mm bolt there. 14mm, you see right there, right under the oil filter. If I were just to remove just this one and that one, I possibly would have been able to pull it out, but possibly the oil filter would have obstructed me removing it because you will have to pull upward. So I went ahead and just removed this little nut here. It's 14mm as well, so which gave me that extra room to pull this back, as you can see, and up to get it off the exhaust manifold. After I did that, just pulled it straight up. As you can see, it's now removed. So we have it right here, our exhaust manifold, aka the catalytic converter as well. So this is the bracket I was speaking of at the bottom. So as you can see, you got 2 studs going down, 1 going up. Kind of harder to deal with unless you drop the entire front portion of the exhaust, which I did not want to do. Really, I was just trying to prove another mechanic wrong here that I could do with this method. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove our O2 sensor here. As you can see, I unplugged it from the other end. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this and get it on our new one, and go ahead and pop the new one in. So we have our new cat here, as you can see. Before we put this in, we're going to change out the gaskets, the one down there as well as the one here. So go ahead and pop those in and throw this in as well. So we have our new gaskets in place. Now I'm going to slide this in, with this going over that bottom stud and setting our nuts in 1 bolt in. So we have our nuts to the exhaust manifold here, slash catalytic converter set. So now we're going to torque it down, starting from inside, working diagonally around to 25 foot-pounds. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then later on I'm going to move up the vehicle and attach the exhaust to the lower part of this exhaust manifold. So now we're under the vehicle again. Went ahead and set those bolts in for the catalytic converter to the exhaust. We're going to go ahead and put those in and torque it down to 25 foot-pounds as well. After that, we're going to lower her down and finish her up top. So now that we've torqued down the bottom of our catalytic converter slash exhaust manifold to the exhaust, as well as to the engine, I went ahead and also put the nut back there and the bolt as well to the bracket that was holding the bottom there, as you can see. So now what I'm gonna do is install a new oxygen sensor, because the old one can be removed from the old catalytic converter because it's seized up. So that just tells you the importance of using an anti-seizing compound around this. So I'm gonna put some around, put it in and plug her up, then put the cover on. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have everything installed now, the cover reinstalled, new O2 sensor plugged in. Everything looks good now. So all we're gonna do is gonna clear our code and start her up. So thanks for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe, more videos to come.